3. The awful death of Sir Francis Newport. Sir Francis Newport was trained in early life to understand the great truths of the gospel, and while in early manhood it was hoped that he would become an ornament and a blessing to his family and the nation, the result was far otherwise. He fell into company that corrupted his principles and his morals. He became an avowed infidel, and a life of dissipation soon brought on a disease that was incurable. When he felt that he must die, he threw himself on the bed, and after a brief pause, he exclaimed as follows: "Whence this war in my heart? What argument is there now to assist me against matters of fact? Do I assert that there is no hell, while I feel one in my own bosom? Am I certain there is no after retribution, when I feel present judgment? Do I affirm my soul to be as mortal as my body, when this languishes, and that as vigorous as ever? Oh, that any one would restore unto me that ancient gourd of piety and innocence! Wretch that I am, whither shall I flee from this breast? What will become of me?" An infidel companion tried to dispel his thoughts, to whom he replied that there is no God, that there is a God. I know, because I continually feel the effects of his wrath. That there is a hell, I am equally certain, having received an earnest of my inheritance there already in my breast, and there is a natural conscience I now feel, with horror and amazement, being continually upbraided by it, with my impieties and all my iniquities and all my sins brought to my remembrance. Why, God has marked me out for an example of his vengeance, rather than you or any one of my acquaintance. I presume is because I have been more religiously educated, and have done greater despite to the Spirit of grace. Oh, that I was to lie upon the fire that never is quenched 1,000 years, to purchase the favor of God's and be reunited to him. But it is a fruitless wish. Millions of years will I be no nearer to the end of my torments than one poor hour. Oh, eternity, eternity! Who can discover the abyss of eternity? Who can paraphrase upon these words, forever and ever? Lest his friends should think him insane, he said, "You imagine me melancholy or distracted. I wish I were either, but it is part of my judgment that I am not. No, my apprehension of persons and things is more quick and vigorous than it was when I was in perfect health, and it is my curse, because I am thereby more sensible of the condition I am fallen into. Would you be informed why I am become a skeleton in 3 or 4 days? See now, then. I have despised my Maker, and denied my Redeemer. I have joined myself to the atheist and profane, and continued this course under many convictions, till my iniquity was ripe for vengeance, and the just judgment of God overtook me when my security was the greatest, and the checks of my conscience were the least." As his mental distress and bodily disease were hurrying him into eternity, he was asked if he would have prayer offered in his behalf. He turned his face and exclaimed, "Tigers and monsters! Are ye so become devils to torment me? Would ye give me prospect of heaven to make my hell more intolerable?" Soon after, his voice failing, and uttering a groan of inexpressible horror, he cried out, "Oh, the insufferable pangs of hell!" and died at once, dropping into the very hell of which God gave him such an awful earnest to be a constant warning to multitudes of careless sinners.